trying to find one last reference that I was gonna nab.
I never checked the preview just to make sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
To the rock.
Welcome to the jungle. I don't know. We don't have a name for this segment, do we?
No. You should look up there to reference him.
Yeah. It's like, and this is Chris. I don't know. I don't know what to call it.
But here, I'll just...
Kind of a setup where we.
get something to drink.
What's that?
Did you get something to drink?
I was going to. I want something hot. Welcome to the jungle.
You know what one of the fun things is, Chris?
Yeah.
One of the things I was wanting to call this, not this segment, but just this title alone. I don't know if Brian's going to let me do it, but I was literally going to title it 11th Moon Tackles Gays.
Wow.
And people are just going to be like, what? And they'll click on it, and then they'll watch it, and they'll go, oh, okay, it's not against gays, it's just...
Yeah.
Chris is like, watch. You don't know what Chris is gonna say though. Watch. Like, he comes on here. The first thing he says is like, he's I hate gays. Very first thing he says, it's like, Chris, I didn't know you were a Nazi.
People click on the videos. First thing I hear, "Damn Jews!"
Yeah.
Like, wow, I didn't see that coming.
First thing Chris says, hello, Montreal. It's like, Chris, I had no idea.
Think Heil Hadith.
I forget Chris can see us, kind of. He's got a little...
Excellent.
I sincerely hope you're not recording yet.
No.
Alright. Get started. Honestly, though, we don't have a real name for this segment, so...
The first thing that came to my mind was 11th Moon Open Forum. But it's not, like, clever or anything.
It's not like over the moon. Over the moon debate? No. Over the moon topics? No.
Do we have to have it titled? Can we get away with not titling it technically right now when we're talking?
I have a hunch we can.
And then we can decide something a little later.
Welcome to the rock.
It's so funny, Chris. Our living room is especially. I still have Demon's Souls on.
Yeah, I did too for a while.
But like, there is crap everywhere in our apartment. Everywhere.
Same. Like,
Everywhere.
if I move the camera any more than it is right now, it looks like a disaster area.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what's going on right here.
I've been meaning to clean.
Hello, Chris. See how clean it looks on this preview window? And then it's just utter shit everywhere.
Seems about right.
It will be clean, though. Promise you that.
And then it's just utter shit everywhere. Send to Chris Miller. Send snap to Chris Miller. I sent you a snap.
Wait, you voice command it to send a snap?
No, I was just talking to myself.
Oh, I was like, "Ooh."
Snap! Sutton, immediately.
Hello, Chris. See how clean it looks on this preview window? And then it's just utter shit everywhere.
I like it. I like it a lot.
All right, we'll let you know how we're starting this off is we're putting up a we're gonna go. Hi. I guess we can't say title. What was the intro?
Hello and welcome. You
Yeah.
say basically it's
Hello,
like,
welcome.
Hello and welcome. It's like hello and welcome. Dang, you want to say two?
Yeah. Hey, or just we gotta start off decently.
Everybody starts off with the finger. Just like the first thing. Hello.
We're basically gonna say welcome. Welcome. I guess we would kind of need a name if we were gonna say it that way. I'm sure there's a way to say it without it, but regardless, let's just say we had a title. Hello and welcome to Us Talking. My name is Craig. This is Brian, and this is. Then you would say your name.
And we know that we're covering a very sensitive topic today, so to begin, we're gonna start off with a quick disclaimer. Give count like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Just like hold freeze frame, and then we jump back into the actual thing. What we're doing is we're gonna have like a little thing scroll by saying, 11th Moon hates all races and gays, and
I think that's a good plan. I think that's a good way to start and get your audience locked in.
yeah.
It'll really keep Mikey enthralled. I'll tell you that much.
All right, you ready for this?
Yes.
I turned you down a little bit, Chris. Talk.
No. Okay.
I turned down too much.
Yeah, way too much. Hello and welcome.
Maybe.
Ow. We're good. Welcome to the Kyle Gas Project.
Hello and welcome. Today, 11th Moon tackles gays. No. Hello.
That's actually a great fucking opening, man.
What?
That immediately catches
Hello
people.
and welcome. Say today, 11th Moon tackles gays.
Hello, everybody. Today, 11th Moon tackles gays. I think it's pretty hilarious.
Hello, guys. Today, 11th Moon. Fruitcake.
Hey, everybody. Here we're at 11th Moon.
We tackle gays. This is going to be the
Hello,
worst
everybody.
outtakes video I've ever done
Hello,
in my
everybody.
life.
Here at 11th Moon. So today we
Here, 11th
we
Moon.
come up from behind and take the gays.
We really take the topics from behind. We don't even give them a reach around. Fuck them.
Oh, that's freaking great, man.
All right. What are we gonna actually? What's
Today,
the
11th
real-
Moon, we're going in deep. No Crisco.
Hello and welcome. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today we are going to be talking to you about.
Things.
Are we going into that? We're going to go introduction, and then we're going to do disclaimer, and then we're going to do that. So, hello and welcome everybody. My name is Craig,
I'm Brian.
I'm Chris.
and today we know we're going to be talking about a controversial subject, so we wanted to give a quick disclaimer before we start. Penis. And then
All right.
And then we'll go.
Yeah.
So.
We
Okay,
don't
let's
want
do
to
that.
seem like pussies. I mean, we're kind of going to be cocks about this issue.
I did.
You and I dead still with him chewing.
All right, let's do this thing.
And whenever we're talking, we're going to try and look at the camera so it looks like we're actually paying attention to the viewer.
Yeah.
Because I hate that when you see some podcasts that are like video, and every single time they're like, yeah, and I really like this part, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
A good thing is when we're looking up there, we look like we're looking at the camera anyway.
Exactly.
Actually, if you wanted something to help me out, you can turn the iToy video off because I will be focusing on you guys inadvertently.
Oh, okay.
All right, yeah, I'll turn that off.
So that's probably a good idea. The only thing I'll be looking away towards is like my desktop for reference.
All right. Just assume that although you can't see us, what we're doing is hilarious. Just automatically assume.
I'll take by the audio. I can
Okay,
use it.
good.
I mean, if you're gonna do something like slap each other's asses, at least make it audible.
That would be perfect for
I
the,
need to
for the
relate.
gay video.
I can't be
Hello
late.
and welcome. My name is Brian.
My name's Craig.
All right, that's what we'll do. All right, you ready?
Yeah,
What do I-
Okay, do you have your phone with with any information they might need?
I do.
Phone.
Oh, let me make sure I have the guy's name down first.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah, Craig, do you want to set up?
I'll do the setup.
All right.
I think his name's Jason Collins.
All right.
Jason Collins, eh? Trying to find something on my.
Oh, shut the door. We didn't shut the door.
Shut it off.
I mean, it's not a big deal, but just for
you being stupid.
nice.
Apps.
You got it.
Yeah, Jason Collins.
All right, and it's just gonna be an honest discussion here. So, I mean, you know, we'll just.
Yeah. And that's the thing is we're trying to get it to where we're not going to go through and redo any of this stuff.
Yeah.
We're wanting to try and nail this in the first take.
Yep.
I mean, so
it's-
if we mess up, we mess up. We just got to continue on like an
Yeah.
honest conversation. So,
Exactly. All right, let's do it.
you ready?
Yep.
You good to go, Chris?
If you just give me 1 second, I
Nope.
really have to do something important before we start with this. It's necessary to the continued function of this whole thing. So you want to do this in one take, huh? You really trust that with
He goes. It's really necessary. He's blowing up a whoopee cushion. He's like, this is really important.
Wow, that was
Gay stream.
Lawsuit. All right. I'm ready.
one moment.
Feeling good. Hello there.
Have you seen the picture of someone going through? And it's like, hello. Do you have the time to speak about the 3 sacred goddesses and the the rule of the Triforce? They're holding the Hyrule Historia up like it's
I
their
haven't seen
Bible.
that.
It's funny.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you
We got a
ready?
timer to make sure that we hit the right
I
time.
thought it was penis fighting. Ah, those dicks were fast as lightning.
You know the one on the purple one looks a little.
I wish you could see this because he had his hand up, so it looked like it was. Okay, we're good.
Nice, Chris.
Anyways,
No problem.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to do the whole thing like this.
no, you're not. Okay,
Right there.
we good?
Yep.
Okay, we're good.
All right, you want to lead it off?
Yeah, I'll leave it off.
All right.
What was it? Hello and welcome.
Yep. Hello and welcome. I'm Craig.
Hello and welcome. I'm Craig.
Sorry.
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. All right, let's do this.
Hello, everybody, and okay, I'll wait till Chris is looking.
I was
You're good. You're good.
trying to straighten myself.
Yeah, you're good.
Unintended.
It's okay.
Okay.
All right, good to go.
What?
Usually that kicks off pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Craig.
I'm Brian.
I'm Chris.
Okay, just one more time.
I was pointing at you, Chris. Don't worry. I got you.
Okay. One more time.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. When he says hello and welcome.
Is this Craig?
Other way.
Is this Craig?
That's Craig.
yeah.
That's Craig.
Sure, that's for me.
Okay.
So we should all point to the person.
Yeah.
Every time.
I'm Craig.
I'll point to me,
Yeah.
and then we'll point over to Brian, and then we're all gonna point up to Chris.
All right. Like,
All right. Let's
That's great.
do
So
this.
you're going bottom right, bottom left. Yeah, I'm to your right, and Brian's to your left.
all right.
So, okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Craig.
I'm Brian.
I'm Chris. I didn't get the timing down on that. I didn't know what you were doing.
All right.
Okay, sorry. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Hello, everybody. My name is Craig,
I'm Brian.
I'm Chris.
and today we're gonna have a conversation. Now, before we start this, we want to throw a quick disclaimer, just so you guys know everything beforehand. All right.
All right. So with that being said, we can go ahead and get started.
Now some of the big news of the week, or at least big news in some facets of life, some people sports fans are the first ones that are really gotta, it was on Sports Center for an entire day and whatnot.
It made national news.
Oh, it made national news
Yeah.
by no means.
Yeah.
But one of the big things is Jason Collins, an NBA player. I think he's like 32 or 34-year-old NBA player, came out. He's the first active player in North American major sports to come out and say he was gay.
Which is actually, to me, that was surprising, not because that he's gay, but because I didn't realize this was the first recorded case of someone actually doing that.
Being active.
Being active.
Afterwards,
right.
people have,
right.
I believe
right.
people admitted afterwards and
Right.
admitted like it's something wrong, have come out afterwards and said I'm gay, but this is the first person that actively said it while they were playing. So.
Yeah. And because of that, we were actually talking, and we got this discussion going about gay characters in video games, and when/if that will ever become a thing, or if it really even currently is.
And that's something that you and I talked about. We didn't know if we sat there and went, is there like lead characters in games that are gay? We haven't played every video game possible.
Exactly.
So it's impossible for us to know every single one of them right off the bat. But has it happened before?
And we're talking not in the fact that you can choose one way or the other, but something that is definitively canon and set in stone. Like, you cannot choose. It is how it is.
Right, exactly.
Because there are a lot of cases in which you can choose to be gay. Like, for example, Fable is one of them.
Yeah.
Mass Effect. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of those out there, but to have a main character protagonist, like, say, a Link or a Mario, but either guy going after a guy, girl going after a girl, what have you, if that's happened, and should it, you think we'll see it more now that there is a more of an acceptance out there.
Right. And I don't know about one of the other things I was kind of curious about was just if there was a decent amount of protagonist gay characters, where are they at? Like, where is this at? Are they in North America? Are they in Japan? Are they in Middle East? I don't
different
know.
Translations of games actually mean, they have different storylines for different characters.
So first, let's start off with that. We tried to do a little bit of research, and we did the best we could looking this stuff up. And I know Chris has a couple of main characters.
Just about a couple.
Yeah, a couple main characters that are actually that are
Canon.
Yeah, in the canon, they're gay characters. So Chris.
I really only came up with a couple. I'm sure there might be something I passed over. One of them is a game I've never even heard of that just came out last year. The first example, though, was a game that came out, I believe, in the early 2000s, might even be 2000. It was one of the last PlayStation 1 games made, Fear Effect 2 Retro Helix, where the main character and her partner are, I don't remember if they ever come out and like flat out say it, but it is heavily implied that they are together throughout the game.
Real quick, have you ever heard of this game?
I've never heard of the game.
Chris,
personally.
did you know about the game before doing the research?
I have played both of the games
Okay.
back when they came out, yes.
Okay, did you know were they decently popular or well received?
I don't think they got as much attention as
A lot of other games.
like enough attention to draw what would be a controversy.
Okay.
Like more modern games where it's even a choice for your character as opposed to.
Yeah, and a lot of times if you have gay, like any sort of gay character in a game, even as side characters, if they happen to be lesbian couples, it's a little bit less more common, I should say.
Right, and yeah, there's a lot more.
I personally would go to say it's more accepted.
Yeah.
At least in North American culture, it seems like it's more accepted as a lesbian couple rather than a gay couple or a male gay couple.
Yeah. What was the other one though, Chris? I know you said you had two.
The other one is an adventure game that came out last year that I'd never even heard of. I don't even know what system it's out for. It doesn't even have its own Wikipedia page, called My Ex-Boyfriend the Space Tyrant.
Not gonna lie to you,
That sounds kind of funny.
It's almost as bad, as crazy as the title. It's Jim Power.
Don't even bring that game up.
In that particular game, the main character, Tycho Minogue, is gay.
Okay.
Male main character.
Now, I know you just looked things up, and I don't think you played it because you don't know what system it's even on.
Honestly, I can't find much about it.
Okay, I'm curious as to if it's something like, okay, yeah, he's gay, and it says my ex-boyfriend, the space astronaut tyrant. Was that what it was?
My ex-boyfriend, the space tyrant.
Space
Tyrant.
The space tyrant.
Yeah, you don't need that astronaut. He's already in space. You're good. You're good.
Like, I'm wondering how much of it is where you're playing through as the character, and it's obviously it's something that's there because you're going after your ex-boyfriend and you're a male character. But how much of it is, like, for the lack of a better term, in your face at the time? You know, is it something where it's like, okay, yeah, he was gay, and then the whole time you're just slaying monsters, and it never comes across?
Right. Which actually, that's an interesting thing that you bring that up, because that's actually leads into something that I was gonna mention. When you played a game like Metroid, and the big reveal back in the day was that Samus was a girl. Oh, spoiler alert! You know, that was a big deal, and also a lot of people actually quit playing Nintendo just because of that fact. No, this is true.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because they made
people
such a strong female lead.
Yeah, because they were so upset that the character that they played as, you know, turned out to be this girl, you know, Samus there. So the acceptance really for that, even at the time, really wasn't there, obviously. But the series obviously has become much bigger and liked as it goes on.
Yeah.
My question is, do you think that'll ever end up happening where you essentially have a character where the entire time you think you're chasing after the damsel in distress, when in reality it's a dude. It's a dudesel, right?
It's a dude, you're chasing.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, what if they pulled the Metroid on it, and so literally
somebody's bound to do
tricked
that.
into it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What if, who knows? You know, maybe, you know, have something like a well-loved character, like, for example, Master Chief. A well-loved, well-known character.
And
you know what I mean? What if suddenly, you know, in like Halo 6, they finally throw in the end there. It's like he's like, finally, I met the person of my dreams, and it like turns out he's with the dude. You know what I mean? Like we just, you know, everybody loves that character. What if he turned out to be gay? That could change the industry.
Think of the Dumbledore effect.
Yeah.
See how that?
Good. That's a great one. Thank you, Chris. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. The one thing, I want to... Actually, I don't want to completely refute, but unfortunately, since I've read like all the books and whatnot...
Yeah.
Master Chief, his name's John, designation John 117, just for anybody that doesn't know. He's basically like... He doesn't know what love is. I want to know what love is. He literally has no, like...
concept of it.
Well,
anyways, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I know
exactly. I'm not
what
saying
you're
that he is. I'm just saying that what if, you know, that
right.
You know, the big the twist.
And that'd be something I feel like it would, and especially if it was like in a Halo or FPS
Talk about a
game.
backlash. You know what I mean?
I think that would actually create a backlash. And
I think so too, but
that saddens me that you go through. Let's just say it happens. Let's say in Halo 6, at the very end, it sits there and it has. You know, it's got the cutscene of him laying in bed being like, finally, I'm done. And then, like, a dude rolls over and cuddles with him. And then, like, everybody's doing this, like, breaking their discs and whatnot. And you're like, you just went through, like, 17 games with this guy.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? You kicked everyone's ass throughout all of space and time, basically.
Yeah.
And now you're mad?
I don't know. I mean, I guess...
Some people
like,
yeah.
That was my whole thing, was that what if they pulled the Samus thing to do it, you know, for the big twist, because that... I don't know. I think that worked essentially well, even though you lost a couple people.
Right.
The series became what it is. So.
Yeah.
I think it has to happen at some point or another. Somebody's got to push that boundary, but they have to go about it the right way.
I think they do.
I mean, it's one thing to like do it for the sake of doing it. That's probably what would cause the backlash, where it would seem like they're just doing it for the fuck of it. But
yeah. I completely understand what you're saying on that, Chris, because also if they did it the wrong way, it leads into something else that I was concerned about, which is the marketing end of it. I mean, think about this. How do you market and sell a game to the general populace of North America saying, hey, this is a game where you're, you know, a girl going after a girl or a guy going after a guy? You know, it's just one of those things that it would be harder, I think, for them to run commercials and sell it, and people would want to play it, you know, when the stereotype in the game is usually it's the, you know, guy going after the girl.
yeah. The main thing I'm wondering, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Is if they're going to start pushing those boundaries with more and more games, or if they're going to wait for society to catch up first, and then start to explore.
Or do you think it needs to be one way or the other? How about that? Not necessarily
I think
what will happen, but what do we think needs to happen to get there?
To that point?
To get to that point where it's not a deal. It's not something we sit here and have a podcast about, you know.
It's not something that... I mean, a point was made on the other day on on Twitter by Breno Floss, actually, if you guys know him.
Oh yeah, love Brenda Floss. He's
I
awesome.
believe I'm paraphrasing here, but I think he quoted along the lines of he posted a link to the news story about the basketball player and said, "At what point is somebody coming out as being gay not going to be news? Like, can we get to that point?
Exactly.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Like, where it's not, hey, there's an article about it. Like, you don't come out and be like, oh, hey, yeah, this person happens to be
Exactly,
straight."
and then have to have a whole show about.
No, exactly. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Is
yeah.
what do we need to do? Like, how is this? Which way do you think this needs to go? Not in society in general, but like talking in the gaming part of things. Before, what needs to happen? Do they need to push the boundaries first,
Well,
or does society need to completely catch up first, or is society going to catch up
yeah.
because the games are coming out and you're getting more used to seeing them?
I think that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying. I think it's partially going to be both side by side. Like it's a lot of the pushed boundaries that cause society to further, and like it just happens. Like if a boundary is pushed too much, it'll hold it back, and it'll push it back even further in progress. But if you push the right boundaries the right way, like if it's gone about the right way in a tasteful way, and
Yeah,
people
yeah.
are just very slowly acclimated to something, like it's still happening right now, but like society has to sort of evolve alongside of the boundaries being pushed as long as they're not
And I
pushed
think
it
that
along.
and going off that, talking about companies, making all these making the games. Like for example, there are definitely characters in games who, as you were saying, side characters or what have you that
Tons.
are definitely
Tons. There's-
exactly.
There's
And
a list of them that just
that list is huge. But but it.
and the thing too is most of them say flat out that it's implied. A
Yes.
lot of it,
Right.
that's the main
Like-
thing. Like they leave it open so they try to avoid controversy.
Mm-hmm.
Like where it's like, oh no, we didn't say flat out the character was gay. No,
Right.
they're just effeminate, or they're just
The character in
nervous around other
Fire and
guys.
Sword. Yeah.
Like there's a lot of that going around. Very, very infrequently does it actually come out and say it.
Yeah.
Right, and I think I'm not saying that they need to come out and just all of a sudden every video game from here on possible, and we're talking again just the sect of video games. We're
Sure,
not going
sure.
into other parts of culture and whatnot. But
Yeah.
I think it needs to start basically coming out, and not something where it's. I'm going to use this term again, but I think you guys are understanding how I'm meaning it. Is it needs to be in our face. It needs to be there. It's not like, oh my gosh,
Needs to not
shoved
be
in your face, but it just has to be. You're going through and you're playing a game, and you learn your character's gay.
Right.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly. Not like, oh, they might be.
Right.
Right, like no, there's a definite thing where, Bob's going after Dave type thing. Like you're saving the guy or something along the lines, or it's just you don't even have to necessarily save the guy. That's the relationship. It's you're going through and let's just say you're playing something like an Uncharted type game, and you're
just-
treasure hunting, and you figure out he's like, yeah, I got my husband back home, Bob. He's there, and you're like, oh, okay, and that's
That's
just
it.
there. It's not something
Laid
where
out. It doesn't become part of the story itself. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I gotta go rescue my husband.
right,
Right,
and not
or-
to have it go through for the sake of people not freaking out, like not going through and there's cutscenes
Exactly.
that are
Like
risque
Mass
cutscenes.
Effect, Dragon Age, all trying to kind of throw it in your face. They sort of did
Right,
in some ways.
just not have that. Just have a guy come out and
Yeah.
Just
you
put it
learn
out there.
through storyline he's gay, and it's not like a big.
Yeah.
Well,
This is the big reveal, or
And-
this is this, or this is this. It's just how it is, and,
and
you
that
keep
would
playing the game.
that makes that makes a lot of sense because if let's just pretend let's pretend you guys were in the store today and you have an option you have $50 in your hand, you can only buy one game, and you look at the shelf of stuff there. Are you going to buy the new Mario Kart? Are you going to buy Halo? Or are you going to buy when John goes after Steve? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? If it's a subtle part of the game and you feel like, oh, I bought the game about treasure hunting, as you were saying,
Right.
and then it turns out that that's going on, that's one thing. But I don't think that if they make it apparent, like like we were saying earlier, nobody's going to buy the game.
Yeah,
I mean,
right now nobody would.
no,
They would avoid
I
it.
mean, I just don't see there's a huge market for it. I mean,
Right, and that's the thing.
I'm not saying that people who are gay don't play games. I'm just saying that there's literally just not a market enough to buy or to.
I think it would hurt
produce-
sales.
yeah,
I think
to
it
produce games
it
like
would
that.
hurt sales
Yeah.
on that end of things.
Mhm.
And that's tough when a business is to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
That's a lot of the reason they're still holding back, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you this though. What's okay? You guys' thoughts of this? Which party? So of the big three would be the one to be the first one to release a game with
So a first party title.
a first party title to release a game with a gay protagonist, and I think I have an opinion on that. So I'll give you mine first.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that actually.
So I'll give
I already have my answer of who would do it.
okay.
But go ahead.
Here's the way I see this. Xbox would do a lesbian couple.
Yeah.
PlayStation would do the men. Nintendo would stick to their regular IPs and not venture out because they don't want to take risks.
I actually would think that. I might think that Nintendo might do it.
Really?
I really do. I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think they would do it first, personally.
Wait, would they do it in like a cel-shaded, cartoony way?
Probably.
Okay, then. Okay,
In like a way
it
that
would
you
still-
couldn't even barely recognize if that's what they were doing. Like,
Right, like
It's
still
you know,
gonna be
the little like the
Nintendo.
giant heads with the no noses and stuff. You know what I'm
It'd still be like a
talking
Nintendo game, but I feel like they would be the ones that do that because
yeah.
I just feel like they would. I don't see Microsoft doing it. I can see what you're saying. Microsoft would do the lesbian.
Yeah.
couple.
Yeah, because Microsoft. I
Like-
love my Xbox. Don't get me wrong, but when I play my Xbox 360, I feel like I turned on Spike TV every time. You know what I mean? You know, it's like beep. It's like just everything on there. And I'm not saying that's bad. Don't get me wrong. I love my Xbox. Everybody knows that. So.
Nintendo would
And
almost.
I love Nintendo too. Just for the record.
Nintendo would almost be doing it in a way that's like they could also still plausibly deny it if something were to come up.
Yeah.
think
Oh
they-
yeah. They'll have a loophole.
Try to make it really obvious, but they will leave themselves a back door. But I just wanted to say something a little, related but unrelated to the current trend of topic. I did notice something when I was looking through the list, because there was a whole massive list on Wikipedia, sorted by decade. You do notice as you go down, like the earlier it is, it's implied, like really implied, but still like deniable. And then
Sure.
as you go down, it's more and more in your face. And it's getting to the point where, frankly, one of the last games on the list is My Ex-Boyfriend is a Space Tyrant. And, I mean, like, there you go.
There you go.
Like, that's about as in your face as it gets.
Yeah, that's pretty in the face.
Yeah. I don't think there's
Does
any
that
way.
does that look like the Goose? I'm sorry, I was looking. It looks like the Goosebumps font underneath it. Like the
Might be.
it looked like it had that like it was like the Goosebump
Yeah.
That might
green goo coming down.
very well be.
Yeah, but yeah, you definitely can see. You can see that the companies like they're definitely. Chris is like definitely right, and his research proves that they're getting more and more with it
They're getting more-
on that end of it. But how long do you guys think it'll be before that actually
Handily within
comes
our
to fruition? Like how many years do you think it'll be, or months? Whatever. I don't know how short of a term you're thinking, but what it will be before we actually see a first. Like we were saying,
A first party title.
Not to get into like politics or anything, but I didn't expect to see a black president within my lifetime. I fully expect this to happen within my lifetime. I mean, if we can have that level of acceptance within my parents' lifetime, it was like unheard.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
We are
and,
absolutely
and that's
to that
that's
point.
why my time frame on this before the hypothetical first party title that comes out would be before 2020. I know that's a decent amount of time. That's it's 2013.
I think I'm gonna take the risk with the way.
I think
Dude, this video.
within 7 years, I think it'll happen.
I think
My
it's-
guess would be somewhere between 5 and 7 years from now.
See,
See that?
I got to be honest. I don't foresee that kind of thing like happening for a
I
little
see.
bit longer than that.
I see trends trending based on like watch how many more states legalize gay marriage.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to have a huge,
When it
huge
trends
part
over
on it.
50%,
Yeah.
put the chance up to like 90% that within like a decade it'll happen.
Right. And we're not we don't want to get into the whole politics of states doing that whole thing or whatever, but
Right.
in the trending of games, I agree with you, Chris, that it's definitely going to be dependent on what they decide to do.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. And there's no question about it. It's going to come down
This
to that.
becomes more comfortable with it. They will be more comfortable trying it.
Yeah, I mean, let me ask you this though. I mean, obviously, with what we've been talking about today, if a company had come out with the subtle version, like we had mentioned to you guys, but you were aware of it before starting the game, like, let's just pretend for whatever reason they said, on you
A
know,
A review of the game.
a review
somebody
of the game
came-
mentioned that he's the gay protagonist.
The
you know.
booklet comes with it, just in the little character bio.
Or in the booklet or what have you, right? But you knew before purchasing it. Would it deter you from purchasing the game?
Absolutely.
I think we need a one. No, I don't think either.
No.
I don't think any of the three of us would
Would do
necessarily.
that, but
I'm saying, and what I'm wanting to make sure this conversation stays on is the public necessarily. Like, how bad would that hurt them doing that beforehand if they didn't know?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I think we've pretty much the three of us have made our statements
yeah.
pretty clear. It doesn't matter to us,
yeah,
regardless. It wouldn't
I
really.
think-
it's not going to keep me.
If
up.
it happened now, there would be backlash.
Right, and that's exactly what I'm going with. Is go through and we figure out Treasure Hunter Bob. Somebody writes a review and they're like, "Oh yeah, and he's gay."
But what if-
you hear about it from certain news outlets? I'll say that much.
Yeah. My whole thing is though, what I was getting at was if if it wasn't as subtle or whatever, and it was more of kind of like a straight up sort of thing,
Right.
Would you buy that game where it's the Legend of Zelda, but it's Link?
Well, I mean, it's very much dependent on the game itself.
If the game's
if
a
the
good
char-
if
if
the game's a good
the
game, then
character's
it's
not going to change my view on it.
Yeah, if the gameplay is still solid and it's still a good game for all the reasons that I normally find a game good, which has absolutely nothing to do with the character's sexual preference. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Exactly. A good game's a good game.
Good game's a good game, Like we were saying earlier, if we're going to go with another first-party title or going with a character that we've beloved for a long time, we found out the next Link, before the thing, he's gay. This Link is gay, and you're saving Zelda because she's always in trouble. But you've got your you got your
Groose on the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got Groose on the side. That's your
Oh, God, Groose.
yeah, Groose. you got him up
I'm
there.
not buying it. I'm done. That's where I draw the line with Groose. Right
Groose.
there.
It's just
Done.
Reference in bad taste. That's yeah.
And it plays that little music when he comes out there. You know?
I call it the Bulk and Skull music. It's
Oh,
exactly-
yeah.
I started doing kind of like the Mumbo's Mountain sort of thing.
You did do Mumbo's Mountain. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, guys. Well, that takes up our time for today. Thank you for hanging out and watching. Thank you, Chris, for joining us on this conversation.
Absolutely.
We quite enjoyed it.
Be sure to leave a comment down below telling us what you think about this topic.
Not on that.
Any of the questions we brought up when we asked each other.
Absolutely. We'd
Feel free
love
to
to hear
answer.
your thoughts on it.
So, all right, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Done. Hi, guys.
I'd like to award you guys
Oh, good timing.